Hello YouTube, Elite Legionarii here, bringing you a 1 vs 1 for Medieval 2 Total War. Today we're using Scotland, and my opponent, the Feudal Lord, is in command of Milan. Actually, I'm going to pause, because there's a few things I want to outline about this particular battle and the builds are being used by both myself and Feudal Lord first. So, I have 2 Highland Rabble, which is my meat shield screen. Actually, no, I have 4 Highland Rabble, because I was expecting a musket build, which I didn't end up getting, so they ended up that being a little overkill there, but I wanted 4 of them to make sure my infantry would be safe. In the centre I have 6 units of Noble Swordsman, which is good solid Scottish heavy infantry. On each flank I have 2 Knights Hospitaller, which is a good reliable cavalry. And I believe I had 2 units of Noble Pikemen on the flank as well. Now usually, and I got General's Bodyguard of course. Now usually the Noble Pikemen will be used to fix the centre and basically, fix the centre while you win on the flanks. But I wanted to try something a little different, experiment with a different strategy, and I'm using the Noble Pikemen to ensure that I'm able to win the cavalry fights in the flanks and then close them in on the centre. Now the Feudal Lord didn't build an army I expected. I was expecting a build of guns, to be honest, because a lot of players do this for Milan. But he's got, let's see, I think it's 4 units of Genoese crossbowmen and 4 units of pike militia. This is a very good combination build, because what you can do with pikes combined with crossbowmen, or just any other sort of reasonably decent defensive unit, because crossbowmen are actually quite good at even in melee defense. And when you combine them with pikemen, you can create almost not an impenetrable wall. You can create a very strong wall that will take even the heaviest infantry a very long time to breach. And Feudal Lord will do this very well in this fight. He's also got 4 units of dismounted feudal knights, and his killing power is his cavalry, in which he's got 5 1 unit Hospitaller, 4 Famiglia Ducale, and a unit of General's Bodyguard. So he's got a very strong cavalry contingent. And you'll see what he will do in this fight. It's a very good strategy, and I must admit I haven't used it for a while myself, but I'm going to actually use it at some point myself. So I was expecting guns, that's why I bought 4 units of these rabble to screen all my my infantry so they wouldn't take any hits from the muskets, or very few hits. But he didn't do that, so that makes them pretty redundant, unfortunately. But what he's going to do here is basically, he's got a very strong cavalry wing, cavalry contingents, and he's going to be able to do a very good job. Now, what I should have done here was actually bypassed these pikes and just held up his missile units, because my army's a rush. Should have held them up and put all my infantry and cavalry onto the flanks and trying to win the cavalry fight, but I didn't do that, and that was really foolish, because what I ended up doing is getting into this big ass infantry fight, and that's fine. I mean, I will be able to win this, but the thing is, this build is very, very effective in that it'll stall me for ages. Like, I will never be able to free myself from this fight. So I get my cavalry in, but he has left just enough infantry that I can't use my Noble Pikemen to actually win the cavalry fight the way I wanted to. So even though I got my guys in, I didn't make for the encirclement there, so he gets another unit, and he's got this unit of other cav left that he can use on my infantry line there. I do get a pretty good charge with my General's Bodyguard against some of his feudal knights there. And I do free this unit up, and I'm going to try and toss him to the fight, but he's left just enough reserves, so you can just have a couple of heavy infantry on the flanks to do some flank cards. So here are my regrouped Highland Rabble, which route I'm going to use as a reserve guard, so that his cavalry can't run hammer and anvil charges. So I'm using my general to try and stop this unit from getting into position to do so. That's his General's Bodyguard. Over here, the cavalry fight is pretty even still. Over here I have not been able to use my pikemen to support, but because I did got some good cav charges on these infantry of his, they should still probably be able to beat them, or at least hold them at bay. But as you can see, because his pikes are able to maintain their pike wall, because there are units in front of them that are taking most of the brunt, because if they hold their pike wall, pikes are exceptionally powerful, but usually what happens in Medieval 2 is they break it up and they get creamed. But if you put some units in front of them, particularly crossbow units, they hold it very well. So although I'm winning against his crossbowmen, I'm just not ripping through them nearly fast enough. and he's able to beat me in the cavalry fight for the most part. Although at the moment I am apparently winning it, but I don't last very long. There you go. So there's one of my cav going, and I'm using as you can see, my peasants are a bit of a meat shield in the back of my line just so that I don't get charged. So I will eventually be able to rout his guys, but he's going to destroy my flanks. So the idea of his build is to hold and fix the centre up and dominate the flank fight, and that is exactly what he's doing. This is very, very clever play from the Feudal Lord. It's a very workable strategy, and it's very effective, and it's a very good strategy if you can do it. I've used it before and it is effective. However, in this fight, I just was so focused on trying to use my pikes to help the cav fight that what I should have done is I should just put 1 or 2 infantry into this fight to fix some of it, and then put all my infantry onto the flanks and destroy his cavalry, so then I could destroy the rest of his army. But I didn't think of it at the time, to be honest. I just wasn't thinking properly. But there we go. So he's destroyed my cavalry. So he probably had some with having very few heavy infantry, he probably had pretty good upgrades on that cav, and quite a lot of it he was able to defeat my cav. And if you look at his pike militia, they're only pike militia, so you could do this even better with better pikes like Aventuros and noble pikemen like I used. So yeah, but anyway, a very good game and very good strategy used by the Feudal Lord. It's a very good strategy, works very well, and I've done it probably only a couple of times, but it is getting popular on Medieval 2 because it is effective. And I just don't get the decisive breakthrough, and this is the whole point of the strategy. It's a very good stall, and he's able to win the cavalry fight, which is, of course, as I always say, very important on Medieval 2. So there's a pretty brutal charge on the flank of my men, and that should probably rout me, I suspect. Let's see, 1, and well, this one, there we go, so he's got me there. So he's definitely won this fight, a well-earned fight, and a very good use of strategy. So mine was a bit of an experimental strategy. In all honesty, using the pikemen to help the cavalry, while it would possibly work, it's probably a bit slow and difficult to micro, so his strategy is more effective. So I'm at defeat there, and this time the Feudal Lord has me beat. So a great game to Feudal Lord, and there's the stats. He got 809 kills, I had 614. I had a couple hundred more men, or probably about 160 more men than him, but he's got 179 captures, so that takes him up to just short of 1,000 there, so he does very, very well. My Hospitalis didn't do too bad, but he just, I think, probably had more upgrades, and he had an extra cav, I think, so that gives him a bit of an edge. My noble pikemen, they didn't do fantastic. 1 or 2 did okay, I guess, but they really weren't that effective. Noble swordsmen, as you can see, they just were set for this one and maybe a couple of the other ones. They didn't really get that decisive breakthrough, and that's the whole point of that strategy. It's a stalling strategy. It works very well. It can even work up to units like conquistadors and stuff, although the conquistadors will be able to break through there a bit quicker than other units simply because they're so good. But it's a very good strategy, good stalling strategy, and he executed it very well. So my hat's off to Feudal Lord, very well done, well-earned victory, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon next time.